Number two, express your interest and perhaps your love in someone without coming across as needy and without displaying needy behavior. The great thing about number two is that if you look at number one and you start to complete number one, you're going to naturally feel more fulfilled and content with yourself and your current position. So you're naturally going to start peeling back these needy behaviors. Although those behaviors will still be there for some of you because these are habits that are ingrained in our neural pathways right now. Each time you redo a behavior, it strengthens the neural pathway, and those neural pathways that show needy behavior are very strong for you right now. But we can start to unravel them, become aware of what the needy behaviors are, and along with naturally pulling those back because you are more fulfilled with yourself, you will also be conscious of them and remove them as we see them. So, I'll make it quick. The way to communicate your boundaries, and when I say boundaries, it means that you have a certain level of needs when it comes to an intimate or a love or a romantic relationship. If those needs are not being met, that is something that is maybe frustrating to you, and it's something that you may repress and resent the other person for if you do not communicate that to them. So this is the healthy communication of what your needs are and what your boundaries are in terms of what you do and you don't accept when it comes to forming a relationship with another person. And this is such an important skill that everyone needs to have. The answer is that when someone oversteps a boundary of yours, or when you expect something from them, maybe expect isn't the wrong word, but you desire something from someone, but they are not meeting your needs to an extent where you feel it is ready for you to communicate with them. Once you are ready, what you are going to do is you are going to effectively, in a very polite way, of course, always say that in an honest way as well, this is what I require in a relationship. And I don't feel like I am being met. Those needs are being met for me right now. And then you're not going to say anything else. You're going to let them hear what you're saying, understand what you're saying, and respond in any way that they want. And the important thing there's two important things actually. Number one is that you don't ask them for anything. You simply state, these are what my needs are, and I don't feel like my needs are being met currently. In saying that, you are not asking them for anything, but they can choose to meet you and say, I see what you're saying, I actually do want to help you meet your needs. Or second opportunity is that they may come back and maybe they don't do what we want, and that means that they give us a negative response and that they don't think they can meet our needs, or maybe they reject us outright. And while that may hurt, and while that may not be what I want, what you want, or what I want, it means that they didn't have the capability or were not willing to meet our needs. So in a way, we kind of aren't losing anything, because we had our needs that we really wanted to be met. And this is why we are so motivated to be romantically inclined or intimately inclined with this person, and they are not meeting our needs. They can't meet our needs. They just told us they can't meet our needs, or they didn't tell us anything. They ghosted us outright. That means that this person is not here for you to fulfill your needs. And if you're fulfilling their needs, but if you're fulfilling their needs, but they're not fulfilling your needs, then how does that work? There's an imbalance there. Something is going wrong. The second extremely important thing to mention is that when you do this, when you communicate, not only do you not ask them for anything, but you give them the option and the space to accept or to decline. So you say, these are what my needs are. I don't feel like they're being met right now. And you do not, after you say that, you don't message anything else. You leave it and you give them the option to accept or decline. If you go in again and you maybe put pressure on them, that is not giving them a safe environment where they feel like they can be vulnerable perhaps, or be in a bit of a confrontational situation with you and be comfortable to say what they truly feel, because you want your partner to be honest with you. So you should reward your partner for being honest by giving them the space and not putting pressure, giving them the option to accept or decline. After that, we're not needy people. Every time that your needs are not being met and you communicate it in a way other than communicating your needs and saying what you want, and that it's not being met, just be aware that this may be coming across as needy behavior. For example, if someone doesn't do what you want them to do, and maybe you give them like a little angry, like passive aggressive comment, like, why didn't you do that? Why wouldn't you just do this thing? Or like an angry face. And even worse, if you don't tell them what was wrong and you just get angry at them, they're not going to know what the problem is. You need to communicate them what the problem is. Just keep an eye out. A lot of those behaviors are going to come across as needy. So every single time you want something and you're instinctually reacting in a way that isn't communicating what you want and that you're not getting what you want, just be aware that that is needy behavior, and it's also not healthy behavior, and it's going to push other people who are mentally healthy away from you. That's all from me. I wish you the best of luck.